Hello, I'm Lizzy.
And I'm Izzy, and we need help.
Each week we stumble through a new book, method, or concept that might take us one step closer to being our best self.
Yes, we make fun of ourselves.
And others.
But mostly just ourselves. So here is to seriously not taking self-help quite so seriously.
Welcome to the We Need Help podcast. I'm Lizzy.
And I'm Izzy, and today we are ripping Getting Things Done, The Art of Stress-Free Productivity by David Allen. We're ripping it a new asshole.
David Allen Poe.
David Allen Greer. So Getting Things Done is a manual for stress-free, it's supposed to be a manual for stress-free productivity, which helps you set up a system of lists, reminders, and weekly reviews in order to free your mind from having to remember tasks. Because his main thing is your brain is for having ideas, not for holding them. So it's a system to get stuff out of your brain, get it organized. And it's called the GTD, Getting Things Done methodology. GTD. And there's 5 stages: capture, clarify, organize, reflect, and engage. So it's about getting everything out of your brain, processing it, organizing it, reviewing it, and then finally, after you're done with all of that, you're supposed to do something with it. So there you go. David Allen, who is he? Why did we choose this book? David Allen,
Poe.
I met him. David Allen Poe. I met him. I did a conference about 2 years ago now in Amsterdam, and it was the Getting Things Done conference, a conference on productivity.
Just to clarify, were you high when you were there?
I was sober, so
This is a sober person.
So I'm a sober person, but it was the coolest conference I've ever been to. It was like the multimedia. There was all these entrepreneurs that were sharing their stories of how they use this methodology to get things done and move their business ahead. And
we'd like to personally interview you if you're listening. We'd like you to reach out and help us dissect this, please.
Yeah, I was so inspired when I went to this conference, and I was so excited. And I'm like, I'm going to read if I want to be like these people, you know? And so therefore we decided to do this book.
My favorite,
I just got to tell you,
my favorite is
the biggest disappointment.
You went to the conference, got the book, and then never touched it again, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Not for 2 years. And I remember I got his autograph because I bought the book and I had him, I think, you know what, now that I think of it, I think he knows the book isn't great because he signed it and I said, can't wait to read it. And he goes, no rush. So that was foreshadowing.
You're like, okay. Well, I mean, it just sounds like he's cool at that point, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I thought he was just being cool, just being modest, but maybe he was trying to tell me something.
I think he was. Like the same way, like some broken bitch will be like, you don't want to get with me because I am a real pain in the ass. Like if anybody,
yeah, she warned you.
She warned your ass. She warned you.
She warned you. She warned you.
Well, David Allen Poe warned you about this book.
He did. Yeah. I was excited. I mean, did you read about him?
For whom the book
a little
tolls.
For whom the book does not toll.
I did not read about him. I broke up with him quick, guys.
Fail fast.
I'm a quitter.
Next.
I'm a big time quitter.
Swipe left. So I'm so disappointed in this book because he as a person intrigued me. He grew up in Shreveport, Louisiana, which I could get on board with. That's really cool.
Steel Magnolias.
He acted. He won a state championship in debate. Then he went to college at New College, which is now the New College of Florida in Sarasota. So we got the Florida connection.
Mm-hmm. He's following me like the Grim Reaper.
Hark the Raven. He then completed graduate work in American history at the University of California, Berkeley. All interesting. And then this was the most interesting.
I don't know why I did that. Berkeley. Wow. Know nothing about it, but okay. Yeah, heard of it.
We can't afford a sound machine, so we have Lizzy.
I've seen that on TV. Wow, Berkeley. Oh, okay.
That is called the ego stroke button.
I've got that going on.
Oh, Berkeley. Oh, yes.
Berkeley, David.
Oh, my.
Berkeley. Wow. Oh, that sounds pricey. Oh.
After graduate school, this was the most intriguing part. After graduate school, Alan began using heroin and was briefly institutionalized. Which I think that's fine. Does he mean rehab? Because I feel like institutionalized is just trying to make rehab fancy.
Number one, we have to decide, is he over 80 years old? Because
I think he is.
Rehab was institutionalized when, like, back in the 40s, I think.
Okay.
Is he like 1,000 years old?
I think he's in his 70s.
Okay, so
that's for the afterbirth. We have to see when they started calling it rehab.
Because I think Betty Ford might have had something to do with that. We'll have to we'll do a timeline of rehab.
But it sounds more like I was institutionalized or I went to rehab. It kind of sounds more badass if you say I was institutionalized.
No. Yeah, it sounds bad.
Yeah. So after he was institutionalized, his career path included jobs as, here goes, magician, waiter, karate teacher, landscaper, vitamin distributor, glass blowing lathe operator, travel agent, gas station manager, U-Haul dealer, moped salesman, restaurant cook, personal growth trainer, manager of a lawn service company, and manager of a travel agency.
I love this guy. The fact that he was a magician.
Yeah.
is obvious, because if you can sell millions of these books, you are a magician.
Yeah. That is a trick. The thing I thought was cool too, he's an ordained minister with the movement of spiritual inner awareness. So there you go.
My dad, my poppy is an ordained minister.
He is? What for?
And
what?
my brother was.
Like, just
he used to say, I can legally marry you or bury you.
In that voice?
My brother talked like this, and I can say this because he is no longer with us, so he cannot defend himself. That was my brother's voice.
He appreciates that.
He sounded way cooler.
So high hopes, and then we were very disappointed.
Yeah. I must say, if you are out there and you're riding high on yourself, like you think you are all that in a bag of chips, this takes your chips and smashes them on the ground. You've never felt dumber in your life.
I felt so dumb. And first of all, I could not get past chapter 1 because I kept falling asleep.
I read chapter 1 3 times.
And
I still don't, and then I quit it.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it, you guys. I honestly was so, he's metaphoring like a rabbit. I mean, he doesn't stop with the metaphors. I'm pretty sure, like, I don't really know. He gives 17 different examples. It feels like we're watching a Scientology documentary. Like, you just don't get it. Like, why are you saying all these words?
I just think it's so ironic that he wrote a book on productivity and it's very long. You know what I'm saying? Like, productivity means doing the minimum amount of things necessary to achieve your goal. It should be short.
Yeah.
It's not, the system of productivity shouldn't be another more work, you know, with a system that exhausts your time and energy, which this did for me. It seemed exhausting to try to implement this stuff. So I don't think this book is written for people like you and me who are doing a million different things and are overwhelmed and just want a simple system,
Who the hell is this written for?
I think it's written for like left brain people who already possess a strong level of structure in their lives and they just want to get more structured. So I think it's for like people who are already pretty organized, but they want to be super organized,
Okay.
which that's not me.
No, I mean, like, okay. I feel like I can get a lot of stuff done, but I think I'm better at getting a lot of stuff done than most people, just inherently. But I mean, this didn't help me at all. Like,
yeah, what I expected from this book, because I got a lot on my plate. A lot. It's like spilling over the plate. So I wanted this book to help me organize the stuff on my plate and then throw the stuff out that isn't necessary. And in theory, the system is supposed to do that, but it's too hard to implement. I felt so stupid
I felt
when I was
like
like,
he
I
was
can't do
jabbing
it. I don't
at
know how
my
to do
plate
it.
with a one chopstick, like for a long, long time, hoping something would
Yeah.
stick at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What, like,
Yeah.
it's the whole time it was him just giving metaphor. Like, you don't have to sell me on getting organized.
Yeah.
Like, I can see why people want to get more done. And he sold it to
Yeah.
you for about 45 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. The whole first couple chapters were actually explaining why the system is so good.
Yeah. It's like, just get me to the system.
Yeah. Just give me the system. So I really think if you're overwhelmed, this is throwing an additional thing on the plate.
So
this is throwing an additional
I
thing
did listen to the first chapter 3 times. And then I went ahead and bought the short version, like the Cliff Notes.
Yeah.
And it was still confusing. It was 25 minutes and I still didn't get it.
Yeah. I heard that he has like minions, coaches and stuff that do this as a workshop.
Okay.
So I was like wondering if that is, something to try rather than read the book, have a coach take you through this.
Well, this sounds fun. Yeah, let's triple down on this thing.
You don't want to do that?
The first thing didn't work. The second thing did not work. Is there any way we can spend thousands of dollars on this? Because, like,
David Allen, if you're listening, I think you should.
How can we
give us the workshop for free?
How can we pay you or not pay you to come waste a lot more of our time on this, please?
If David Allen gifted me a workshop, I would.
I would
just to go through it.
I would do it for sure. I would. I'm not completely closed mind on GTD.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Okay, so what do you do? How do you get things done? What's your process now?
I thought it was pretty good.
Okay.
But I think that the issue and what I came to the conclusion is I don't know how to prioritize. And so, but what I do is I have a calendar. On one side, there's just a place for a list.
Is it a paper calendar or is it electronic?
It's a paper calendar. Okay. I cannot do electronic. I just can't. I get lost in it. I don't like looking at the screen that much. I like having a paper calendar. It's the size of like a book. And on the left, there's a place where I can list stuff. So I just list everything I have to do. And then from the list, I put it into days in my calendar because the calendar has days and it has time slots. So I just fill up everything from the list in the calendar. And usually that works pretty well. But this is just sometimes things come up.
This is just general curiosity. Do you write in English or Polish? Just wondering.
Both.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
People ask me that question a lot. Like, do you dream in English or Polish? And it used to be only English, but now it's a mixture.
Do you dream in color?
Yes.
I've never had a black and white dream.
Okay.
Have you?
Me neither.
Yeah.
Do people have
That's what it seems like. She dreams in color, she dreams in red. Can't find a better man. just that song makes me think that there are people who don't dream in color.
Was that Pearl Jam?
That's why we're soulmates. Yeah. So
how about you? How do you have a system?
yeah, I have a system, and I used to be only paper, but now I've gone to electronic, and it's working better for me. I fought
than the
it
paper.
everything that I have, and this year I've gone to electronic, and and I've wrote down everything in there because Jason was on my ass. He's like, just use the electronic one. I'm like, that's for like, there's no way things are going to get lost. But I like made a commitment to write it down, and I have been a lot better with it.
Oh, good.
And then in theory, I would go over what our goals are and write them down. I have a notes list for my goals for the week. And then I keep going back to that list and adding and deleting. So like mine now has like it has drink 3 Yetis of water every day, take vitamins, work out, take nightly walks. I need to whiten my teeth this week. Book a facial. I want to call and schedule cryotherapy, which I've had this on my list like for 4 weeks now. Find a sauna and book it. I have a meeting, review the marketing plan again, check and the Audible affiliation. It goes on and on. If like, and I keep I can delete it off there once it's done.
What app do you use? What is it?
That's just on my notes. And
you just do it on your notes.
On my notes,
okay.
And you can put like little check. You can check them off in there
Okay.
now. You didn't used to be able to do that. So I used to use the reminders app, but that thing doesn't. It's not as good. It's not as good now. But so that is how I get things done. But I mean, like you, you have so many irons in the fire. I have so many irons in the fire. And things get through the cracks. And like I was so hopeful for this book that things would not get through the cracks. And one of my biggest problems, and I think it's because I grew up in a large family, is that whatever's in front of me is my priority at all times. So like if somebody calls, doesn't matter what I'm doing, I drop everything to give my full focus to that phone call, which throws me off.
I was so proud of you, and I have to tell the listening audience that we are having our podcast like brainstorming, and a family member called with an emergency, and you put this as a priority, and I know that was really hard for you. That is
so hard for me because, and we talk about this all the time, but like my putting myself first and what I want, and this podcast is at the top of that list, is very difficult for me. It really is. So like setting my own priorities, I think that like if I just put my top 5 priorities on Monday and just checked them every day and made sure whatever I was doing was in alignment with those 5 priorities for the week, I think I would be better off. Like run them through a priority filter of some sort.
Yeah, that would be super helpful. I think, the next book we do is going to have to be on boundaries, because I think that's a big thing. And there's a couple nuggets in this book, a couple quotes that I found. One of them was something that he said that most people stress back up.
Okay, what just happened?
The most stress people experience comes from inappropriately managed commitments that they make or accept.
Yes.
And that is absolutely true for me. I will say yes. And then later I'm like, shit, like I'm overwhelmed, and I overcommit myself.
I want to do everything too. I do want to do everything. Yeah. I have FOMO.
Yeah. My mentor says like, sometimes what's harder in the beginning makes it so much easier later. So I just have to remember that. Like, it might be harder to say no, but it's going to make life a whole lot easier later. But I have the hard time saying no.
I need her to come walk behind me with a taser gun. I honestly do. It's so hard. Well, first of all, I have fear of missing out. Secondly, I think I'm better at everything than everybody else, which is a lot of people don't like to admit that.
Yeah.
In fact, I can't believe I just admitted that on this podcast.
Hate is gonna hate.
So I think I'm better at it. So why would I let somebody who's worse at it do whatever it is?
So have you ever had an assistant?
Yes, I've only had one successful assistant.
What happened to that assistant? Where was it? Can you tell us about it?
Her name is, maybe I shouldn't say her name, but her name's Karen. I didn't think that she looked like a Karen. So
I've actually never met a Karen.
She is a Karen, and she's an Asian Karen, which I thought was very rare. But I said, Karen, you don't look like a Karen. You don't seem like a Karen. So I can't call you Karen. So I called her TBD. So to be determined. I never named her. And so she was TBD from the beginning. And I had her for over maybe a year or two in the Virgin Islands. She did all my blog stuff. She did my website. She did, she's an unbelievably talented photographer. She did all my pictures. She did all my content. One time I accidentally let her babysit Scarlett. Big mistake. Scarlett was Scarlett was 3, and she was she just wouldn't stop crying. She was I don't know why. I mean, I put her in the bedroom in pitch dark and shut the door. I'm what?
That's what Karen's mom used to do.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so funny.
No, she was TBD. I'm even saying Karen doesn't make sense there because I never even looked at it and that was before Karen was a bad word. Yeah. So, but she's just one of the most unique people. But she left the island, and eventually it just was too hard for her to keep up my content and doing her thing.
Yeah. I had an assistant.
How was that?
He had a stroke while he was my assistant, which goes to show you how friggin' much I had going on. My assistant had a fucking stroke, a major stroke. He stroked out.
Is it because of you that he stroked out?
I think partly. I was a stressful, stressful? There was a lot going on.
Are you stressful to be around?
I think so.
I know I am. Yeah, I'm a mess.
I think so.
Do you hold other people when they work with you to your same standard? Because I know how hard you are on yourself.
I used to. I don't anymore. Because I've stopped. This is going to sound bad, but I've stopped caring so much. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I used to care more, but I think I have so much going on. I'm almost too tired to care as much as I do. But when I was managing, I used to manage restaurants in the Midwest, and I was a perfectionist there.
Yeah.
And I learned that from the guys, the owners of the restaurants. So and when I go out to eat, I'm super nice to the waitresses.
Yeah.
But I'm
discerning.
It's really hard to go out to eat with me. I'm super discerning, where it's even the music or the lighting. If it's not right, I'm
that's basically how I am on Earth.
If the lighting is not right.
Whoa. But yeah, I think I also have a problem that I expect people to read my mind, which is
Oh, yeah.
I like it's a nightmare,
Yeah. Yeah.
and so not a lot of people I think even want to work with me in that way,
Yeah.
like, and so TBD was an amazing, like she kind of got me and she wanted to learn
Yeah.
from me. And she is now like, I mean, she's so cool. Like she started this, like, I think she started Not All Karens is what, I mean, she's a fucking movement now. And like, she lives in New York and she's just amazing. And, but she wanted to be inspired,
Yeah.
only people that want to be inspired, like want to be around me because
Yeah.
it's just a fucking exhausting. It's exhausting. I'm exhausting.
So shall we go through the five
Sure. Why not?
the five stages, which is his workflow system, which the first stage is capture, then we have clarify, organize, reflect, engage. So let's go through the first one, which is capture, meaning
Write all your shit down, right?
yeah, for this to work, you must stop storing information in your brain, because that is one quote that I absolutely loved. Your brain is for having ideas, not for holding them. So anything that crosses your mind, so to-dos, events, ideas, book recommendations, phone calls, you got to, every single thing must be somehow captured. So you
Okay.
got to get it out. So I call it the purge or the vomit.
Okay. So that can be on your notes on your iPhone, right?
Yeah.
Like, all right, there. Capture everything that comes through your brain on notes. There, that's all you have to write. This guy wrote
Yeah.
for hours on this subject.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't get that. I mean, oh, yeah, but I loved that part though, because I only write down like the important thing, but then things pop up and I don't write them
He
down.
did say something
And I'm
funny
just
is
like,
like your notes,
what?
like you don't expect, like, you can't just write one word down. Like some of my notes are embarrassing.
But I don't understand that. Why can't you just write one word
Well,
down?
because Olo link. That's on one of
I
my lists here.
I know, but you know what that means, right?
I might now because I wrote it down,
Okay.
but like, I mean, it just, if you went over my notes, they're very vague
Yeah.
and I don't always remember what they mean. So,
Yeah, but I think,
so when you write
you
notes,
know,
is what he's saying. When you write notes, make sure it
yeah.
has an action item in them. Call Olo about link for podcast,
Okay.
right? I think that's what he's saying.
I have mixed feelings about his whole system about that, because I know what it means. Like when I write link Olo, I know that means call Olo for the link, and I get what he's trying to do,
Yeah.
but I just
Well, and he said that if it's something for 2 minutes or something, like a 2 minute item to do, then you should not write it down. You should just do it. And you had a good point where, like, if you have 57 2 minute things to do,
yeah.
and 2 minutes always lead to 5 minutes, and then I have to, like, then you have to look something up, and that might lead to another 2 minute action item. You're
Yeah.
going to 2 minute yourself into the garbage.
I do that. I 2-minute myself into the garbage constantly. So yeah.
If I had
Like
a life motto, it would be 2 minuting myself into the
yeah.
garbage.
Yeah. But I really actually loved this step, because I do believe that anything that you don't get down, you're going to have to store. And our brain isn't wired to, like, the front of your brain, it's sort of like your desktop where, but the brain desktop can only hold like 3 or 4 things. So the rest of the things are kind of going to be escaping. And I'm totally on board with writing everything down, getting it all out there.
Yeah.
I'm on board with that. I really like that. And also so we're going to have to do this in a future episode, but there's this book that I found where you have to uncover your saboteur. And there's different types of saboteurs. And my saboteur is called the avoider, which means I will avoid things that I don't feel like doing, but they're like kind of have to do's. So it really helped me just to get everything.
I'm excited
out on
to do that
paper.
because I'm guessing I have a team of saboteurs working on me at all times.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah, there's 9 saboteurs, and you can find out which ones. Mine, number 1 was, I had 2, avoider and people pleaser.
oh,
So,
well, hopefully this next
yeah.
week, because we have that handled next week. So maybe we'll be
Yeah.
able to, yeah. So a couple of things here. I don't like when people try to make me understand my brain by doing a computer, like explaining it like a computer. Like I have RAM,
Yeah.
I have speed, I have like, you lost me.
Ram this.
Yeah. Yeah. My brain is not a MacBook. Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
more of like the end of the fireworks show when it's all going off and you're like, is this the end? And they're like, I don't know. Is this the end? I hope this is not the end, but this is amazing. Just as, I mean, if it is the end, it could be the end. It might not be the end. Is this the end? Yeah. That's more.
So, did you do this step?
Yeah.
Getting it all out?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did do this step too. I realized 2 things. Number 1, my life was much simpler when I was a drug addict because all that would have been on my list would be score. Cop
Oh my
dope.
God.
So,
it's the simpler times that we miss the most.
yeah. Now it's like I gotta pay taxes? Like, huh?
Call the accountant.
Before it was like steal and cop dope. Those were the 2 things.
Well, it was
those
just
were the
cop
2 things
dope.
on my list.
Stealing was
I didn't
just
even need
a way to cop the dope, right?
Yeah. Believe it or not, I didn't even need a calendar.
What? Every day
I
it
know.
was like Groundhog Day.
It was all the same. Yeah, but it's so funny because it was as terrible as addiction is, it is a simpler life because like that is your driving force. So,
Well, I think that you probably need to take over the marketing for drug addiction because you're like, dope, a simpler life.
a simpler way of life.
Oh, look at him. He's so simple. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that was it. One thing I didn't agree with. He had this
there was
quote.
one thing you didn't
He
agree
said,
with?
try. Well, there's a lot of things I didn't agree with, but the one thing from this chapter was 2 things. He wrote, 1 missed email, untracked commitment, or decision avoided can have hugely magnified consequences. I'm like,
Can it?
does life really matter that much? Can it?
Because
Yeah,
I have 9,771 unread emails right now.
Yeah, you do? I'm so happy because we're going to have to screenshot our inbox because that's how many I have.
Shut the front door. Yeah. It's
That's pretty
embarrassing.
amazing.
And
wait, let me see how many I have.
And you want to hear even more alarming number? And this is for anybody who knows me out there, I have 269 unheard voicemails.
Wow, my phone doesn't even store that many, so that's amazing.
When I go buy a phone, I walk into Apple and I say, give me the most expensive Apple phone with the most memory.
That's great. Yeah. I do not listen to voicemails ever. So
don't leave me a voicemail.
I don't. Yeah, do not ever leave me a voice. You can leave me a message on WhatsApp.
Oh,
I like those. I'll
that's
listen
fine.
to those.
Marco Polo.
Do not leave me a voicemail.
Might take me a week or 2, but I'll get it.
Yeah. And then the second thing he said was trying to keep a list on the calendar, which then must be re-entered on another day if items don't get done, is demoralizing and a waste of time. I doth protest. Like, that's the way I like it. If I,
Number one,
I get it.
You're assuming I don't like to be demoralized.
You're saying that's a bad thing.
You just hurt one of my goals' feelings.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, that was that. That's the whole first step is you capture all the shit.
Yeah.
You get it all
Just
out there.
put
You
all
vomit,
the
you
shit
purge.
down that you need to do. I mean, that's all you have to
Yeah.
there. Write
Yeah.
down
All the
everything you
shit.
do.
Every fucking thing.
Everything you need done goes on one list.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Topic number 2.
You have to clarify. So that means you decide the intended outcome for each item and figure out what the immediate next action is to make progress towards that outcome, which this part kind of lost me because he wanted, because like he wants you to categorize every single thing.
Well,
which seems like it would take a lot of time.
Like I mean, I've been through so many like of these things. So like, remember, like there's 4 quadrants. Remember that? Like there was, what was that one? The like every corporate place puts you through this 4 quadrant thing. It's
it's urgent and important, not urgent, important.
Yeah, those things.
The 4
and that all I couldn't even like get through that. I'm like, why are we like
Yeah, it's urgent, important, not urgent, important, not important, urgent, and then not important, not urgent.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's, I guess that's what this kind of is. So all you have to do is go through and find out what's urgent or important and do all those things.
Yeah, I get it. I like the principle behind it. I do not like the system. I like the principle behind it. I don't like the system because it's like create more lists and more lists. Where am I going to put these
Honestly,
lists?
I'm trying to simplify this shit. I'm trying to get stuff done and you're giving me all these tasks to do.
Yeah, and then the tickler file, please explain to me what that is.
If anybody ever says to me tickler file, I'm going to put their nose into their brain.
It's 43 different
I'm going to have to take a class on it, but I'm going to shove my like the butt of my hand up into their nose.
When you first told me tickler file,
you thought it was porny
because you started and I thought it was porn.
Yeah,
I was like,
I haven't seen that one, but yes, let me know more.
Okay, well, yes, I will definitely do. And then I'm like, it's about organizing. What?
Do you mean orgasming or organizing? Yeah, if the word tickler is in there and it doesn't end in climax, I'm not interested.
Swiping left, David. So yeah, clarifying everything, prioritizing exactly what is it, like what you were talking about, where it has to, you have to associate an action with each thing.
Okay, you said something so funny. I live in vagueness.
I live in vagueness.
What does that mean?
It just means, for example, if Maciek asks me, how much money do you have in your bank account? I don't know.
Oh yeah, I live in the gray too.
Somewhere between.
I don't like facts.
Yeah,
they bother me.
Yeah. But I've actually have had to start getting more clarity. I've learned to get more clarity. So this is about, not having any vagueness. And in business, it's super important.
Yeah.
It is super important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not to say, no, put it in writing. What exactly does that mean? We'll get back to you soon. Soon, what does that mean? Tomorrow, the day after, Friday, what time?
Well, when it comes to things,
I do think it's important.
When it comes to things I care about, I'm very detail oriented.
Yeah.
But Jason, it will not bother me with any of the details of anything because details tend to weigh me down. You know, and I think I want to know what it is, what to do about it, and when it will be done. Yeah. I don't need to know all the little idiosyncrasies in there, all the little tiny things going on. I took this class one time and I think you did too. It's where you find out what kind of person you are. You're either dominant, inspiring, steady, or conscientious. And
Yeah.
I got like, I think it was, you scored 29 on, you could score up to 29. I scored 29 on dominant, or I'm sorry, 27 on dominant, 27 on inspiring, and 2 on steady, and 2 on conscientious. Like I don't have it.
Same exact same exact results.
I mean, it's
So
terrifying.
I used to work for the company that produced those tests.
Oh
So
my
it's so
God.
funny because we would be walking down the street. My friend Marta, shout out to Marta.
Hi, Marta.
She came to visit
Yes.
when we were in Chicago. You remember
Yes.
her. And we would like walk down, you know, we'd be walking down the street and talking. And she's like, oh, this was like a long time ago. And she was like, I met a guy this weekend. I'm like, what's he like? And she's like, he's a total C. Like we would, because it's DISC.
Yeah, the disc program.
Like,
I remember.
yeah,
It was so
disc.
good.
So I used to work for a company called Extended Disc.
Did you?
That was the name of it.
The guy who did mine, I'll never forget it. His name was Frank Switek. Do you know him?
No, Polish guy though.
Is that Polish? I don't know anything about that.
Switek is a Polish name. It's
whatever.
like Świątek. Yeah, it's a Polish name.
Just kidding.
The detail. Detail.
I don't care.
Yeah. I think we're big picture people for the most part.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes I like vagueness because I somewhere have a fear of commitment.
Yeah.
In some ways. So vagueness keeps me, I don't have to look at reality. I'm a dreamer as well.
Me too.
And vagueness or clarity is a little too real for me.
Well, I
prefer to float in the vagueness.
I never liked math because anything that comes out the same way is boring to me every time. Like if it's got the same results every time, why even bother with it? Like I don't want to like
exactly.
It really doesn't. I mean, interest me whatsoever. Some people love that.
Yeah, it provides them a sense of security. They're probably S or C people.
We both dated actuaries. So this was a mismatch for me, like as you can imagine, because
me too.
It was a mismatch. He really cared about the little details of things.
Yeah, so listen to this. My ex, who's an actuary, we went on a road trip around the U.S. How fun is that, right? We took 3 months off of work and we're like, we're going to do a road trip around this is before you and I met. And he had an Excel spreadsheet and it had to have where we were going next and how many miles and where we were going to spend the night. And it all had to be filled in before our trip. I was like,
why is this happening to me?
Yeah. And I'm a person who likes to organize things. Like I love organizing trips. So I'm like, I'll do it. I'm like, this will be fun. So I organized the most fantastic trip, but I made a mistake on one of the dates.
Uh-oh.
So we pull up to the hotel that we're supposed to be on this date. It's in the spreadsheet. And
I hate spreadsheets.
They're like, we don't have a reservation for you. And he lost his shit. I also think he had a touch of Asperger's, but he just lost his shit. Like he was freaking out that I'm irresponsible. And I'm like, dude, I missed one cell in the Excel. Like,
those things are confusing. And you're like, once you get out of the mix, you're screwed.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was all downhill from there.
Yeah. I could sit here and tell you how bad the match was for me and my actuary, but let me just tell you, his idea of becoming a millionaire was to save $1 million. Mine was to make $1 million. And like, if you disagree on that, you fucked.
Yeah.
Because I will only always go to the gas station that's on my side of the road. You know?
Yeah.
And if you've got a person that will go to the other side of the road because it's a dime cheaper, it's just not, that's the best way to know if you're with the wrong guy.
All right. Should we take a banta break?
Let's take a banta break.
All right. We're going to take a banta break. Before we do, we would love your support.
Keep it going, baby.
We have a Patreon account. Patreon's a fantastic place where you can support us.
Support
'Cause we need
us.
it. We need help. It's www.patreon. That's patreon.com/we need help podcast. Written together, we need help podcast.
We need
And
help.
you can subscribe to us and support us financially because we would love to get new equipment. We would love to hire an editor. You know,
We just want money,
the podcast
like everybody
stuff.
else.
We just
like this is. I'm not going to justify why I want money.
well, yeah.
Just
I do want us to be
we
self-supporting.
need to be we need money like the rest of the world.
We need to be self-supporting.
Yeah.
So there we go.
We need to buy these books.
Yeah. Let's they're expansive. All right. Thank
So
you. And
we
we'll
will
see
be
you after the
right
break.
back. Welcome back from the banter break.
I'm so glad we had that banter break because I could so the sun was not shining in Poland today because it rarely does. And then in the middle of
Whoa.
what?
The sun shines in Poland.
I know. It's you guys are shocked. Eastern Bloc gets sun. So I had mid recording, the sun started coming right, and I had to force my eyes to be open. I've probably done some damage.
The eyes of God came in on Izzy.
So yeah, I got to shut the curtain. It was fantastic.
She looked like she was we have ways of making you speak.
No, or like Nosferatu, the sunrise.
Oh my God.
So what did we do before the banter break? We did the first couple.
Well, first, wait.
Topics.
We are sponsored by Kiss This Lipstick.
Oh, it's the best.
It's the best. It's in the color of #HateSex. It's handpicked in the perfect shade of crimson. Perfect for all daily wear and night. It's HateSex is a moisture rich and it features natural minerals, oxides, and pigments. Paraben free and made with all natural ingredients. #HateSex will be your go-to color on any season. And it makes your teeth look whiter. And I have to say, I love it because I made it.
That is the most important thing. It does make your teeth look whiter. And
Yep.
Lizzy, where can we buy it?
You can get it today at thestellabox.com.
Okay. And that is your project, right? The Stella Box.
That's my project. And I can say this lipstick, it's long wearing and it's just anybody who gets it loves it.
I will tell you something. I wore it when we recorded last time. And at the end, I wiped it off because I'm like, going to bed. And it was there in the morning. I was like, what?
Yeah, it lasts
even after
a long
wiping.
time.
But it's not one of those annoying, how sometimes you get those lipsticks that are long lasting and your lips look like they're cracked
Crusty?
and dry.
No.
This is
Yeah.
moist and sorry for using that word.
Moist.
It's moist, but long wearing. So I love it. And I get comments all the time. I'm on all these Zoom calls and people are like, straight guys are like, yesterday I was on a Zoom call and this guy's like, what? Your lipstick looks really good. I was like,
it is the best lipstick. And I can tell you, it took me 6 months to make it with my friend Danny.
Are you a scientist?
No, but Danny is.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, she's amazing. And she she was at my house every day dropping off. Do you like this one? Do you like this one? And I was so anal, not to use the word anal.
Moist and anal.
Moist and anal.
How many listeners have we lost in the last 5 minutes?
Hate sex, moist anal. No, but only we could fuck this up this good.
Why we don't have advertisers. They're like, train wreck. No.
Oh my God. So yeah, go on thestellabox.com, get yourself some hate sex.
Yeah, it's best kind. Best kind. All right. So after the break, before the break, we went over two sort of topics in David Allen's Getting Things Done book. Topic one was capture, meaning get all your shit out on paper or wherever you want to get it. If you want to do it on your phone, it's fine. And topic two is to clarify. So what exactly is all this stuff, and prioritizing, etc. Yeah, that's what we did.
It's boring as fuck. Let's get on to organizing and where the fuck do I put all this shit?
Yeah. So are you an organized person?
I am.
Okay.
And then I'm not. And then I get back on it. And then I get back off of it.
Do you have like organizing streaks where if my life's out of control, I'm like, I gotta clean. And then I go in and organize everything.
Purge.
Yeah, I go and organize everything. So his whole thing is just putting things where they belong. And this is another part where he lost me because, well, for the clarifying, you had to create all this list and then you have to put the stuff in the list. But it seems to me that that just takes too much time. Like,
I don't know why organizing it. Now I clarified it. That's the same thing as organizing it.
Kind of. Clarifying is deciding what it is. Exactly. And then organizing it is putting it where it's supposed to go.
Okay, this is like one of those like clarifying it is organizing it.
Kind of.
To me.
It's almost like when you're doing laundry, imagine a pile of laundry in the room. You just got your laundry, it's out of the dryer.
Okay, so here's the step.
Yeah.
This is what you're like, this is how I see it. Okay, he wants me to do this. Oh, I've got a piece of clothing. Is it white or black? It's white. That's a step. And then throwing it in the white pile is organizing.
I'm talking about laundry after you take it out of the dryer. You got a big pile after the dryer. What I do is I put the pile on the bed and then I put all the socks in one, all the t-shirts, all the Manchik's clothes, my clothes. I separate them out, and then I put them away. This step is the putting away of the laundry.
Where do you fold it? Do you fold it?
Yeah, that's part of the clarifying step. And then you put it away. You got to put it somewhere, right?
Well, I was doing the laundry where I was getting it washed, and he wants me to like discover that I have wash to do. Yeah. Then whether it's white or colors, now I have to like deciding that is a step, and then throwing it in the white pile or in the color pile is a step. And then now is to wash it is.
Yeah.
It's too complicated.
It's too complicated.
Just drop your shit off at the cleaners and they will do it for you.
Yeah. I get it. I get the principle. It's, it's making these sections and then you put all your to-do stuff in these sections, but it still doesn't tell me in what order I'm supposed to do it, when I'm supposed to do it, how, and then having all these sections, I would get lost. Something would slip through the cracks if I had all these different lists. If I have one list, nothing's getting by me. It's like I am the gatekeeper and nothing is getting by. If I have
just me and my list.
If I am surrounded by lists,
going to war.
This one list is going to go right by me. I'm going to forget about that list and then I'm screwed.
Yeah. I don't need all these willy-nilly satellite lists.
Yeah.
I need one list, one good one.
One ring to rule them all. Oh, see the sun? Our listeners can't see it, but
I can tell you guys all straight up right now, Izzy is not a vampire, it turns out.
Nope, not a vampire. See? Okay, I'm holding my arm up.
P.S. I'm looking for a vampire. So just
Ooh. Oh my God, it would be so great if our assistant could be a vampire.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yeah. And we could pay him in blood. Virgin blood.
Well, no, I want to be turned into a vampire now and have everybody I love turned into a vampire.
Okay. All right.
And then I have a list of people I'm going to eat.
Tasty. Me too. All right, let's move on to the next topic because this book is so
Okay.
fucking boring. Topic 4 is reflect. So after you've done here's the deal. After you've done all the putting of the laundry away, you have to reflect on it. You have to keep reviewing.
Yeah.
You just have to keep it at once per week. And it says it will take a while. So you should ideally set off some time, probably 30 minutes in advance, doing a weekly review. So making sure each project has at least one next action, making sure that each action on your next action list is something that you want or need to do in the next coming week. Look through your someday maybe list. Look through this.
Honestly, I think we should cut and paste this, and this is my suicide note. I mean, I can't. I just cannot. Yeah. This is it.
Yeah.
This is all I can do.
This is it. To be fair, the only thing this book has had me reflect on is that I do need to do some housekeeping in the stuff I'm taking on. So that is the only thing I'm going to reflect on.
Yeah. I'm not reflecting on anything.
Yeah. And then the fifth and final topic is engage. So now that you have collected, processed, organized, reviewed your commitments, it's time to fucking start doing it.
I want to start here.
Yeah. So then you decide what to start working on. I get his principled thing. It's just, it's too he made the system too complicated. Why didn't he get an editor? I mean, he's like a millionaire now, I think. Anyway.
Well, I don't think he was like it. He might be a good enough guy.
Yeah.
You ever met good enough. Yeah. That's good enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't think a book of getting things done should be any more than 100 pages.
Yeah. It should be simple for simple people like me.
Like if you're the guru, this is another, I do not understand why anything takes 1,200 pages. Yeah. Or what is this? 500 pages?
How many? No, it's 300, but that's still a lot. Okay.
No, we could cut that down to a third.
Yeah.
No problem. And here's how it's going to go.
And I think go ahead.
Okay. So step 1, write down all your shit. Step 2, prioritize it based on what's the most important. Step 3, freaking decide what you're going to do first.
Yeah.
Step 4, why does there have to do it? Yeah, just step 4. I was going to try to go to 5 steps, but there's no reason. But it should be do it and then mark it off your list and move on.
Yeah. I really wish there was like, it was too complicated. So there we go. I think the way we explained it simplified it, actually.
Yeah. I mean, if this guy would like to hire us to do some like coaching for people, we're open to it.
I'm not. I'm gonna. It's a hard pass for me.
Yeah, I know that for a fact that you can't say no to things, so this might be like.
Yeah. Oh, all right. So that's that. That's the book. What did you take away from this book? Has it helped in any way, shape, or form?
I think that I just need to work my list a little bit better. And I do like the end of week reflection. I'll do that. Like at Friday night, like what I'm going to do on Monday, maybe.
Okay.
Or what I need to do for the weekend.
Yeah.
But reflection is good. I've decided that David Allen is not my favorite author.
Okay.
Is that a takeaway?
Yes.
What about you? What's yours is going to be that
to just say no, which is super ironic. Do you remember in grade school, did you have the DARE program, Drug Awareness Resistance Education?
My parents, like my mom's best friends, they're little girls who I grew up with. we had the Dare people there, and we're all sitting there, like the dogs are there, and they've got like all this bongs and all this like stuff like up on the screen. And my friend's my friend at the time, she was like, my dad has those. And I remember, like, I mean, every one of us we had a bong in our living room. We always had marijuana underneath the couch and that tray where they'd separate the seeds and the stems.
Yeah. Everyone knows
like that was just normal.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had the Dare program.
Yeah, we had it too. And I remember there was even a song. It was like, dare to keep a kid off drugs, dare to keep a kid off dope, dare to give a kid some help, dare to give a kid some hope. And then it was like,
I remember that is so awesome.
So listen to this. The police came to our school and they were talking about different types of drugs. And this was me in first grade sitting there like, I'm totally going to do drugs. And all the other kids were like, I am never going to do drugs.
I swear to never do drugs. And here's Izzy. Oh, I'm going to get me some of that.
I cannot wait to get older. And so the whole tagline of Dare was just say no, right? And I remember the police officer, after he did the whole spiel, he broke us up into groups and he's like, you have to present a skit to where you express some of the Dare principles in the skit. Ooh. So me and this kid, Ryan, were in a group and one of us was playing the dealer and the other one, the kid. And I remember I was playing the dealer and I'm like, hey man, you want some drugs? And Ryan's like, all right. And the police officer was like, no, you're supposed to just say no.
Oh my God.
But I think what I'm taking away from it is not, and I am responsible for how much I put on my plate. And I'm one of these people, if I go to a buffet, I always take too much and I never finish it. So what I'm taking away is to not take as many servings, to keep my plate a little, a little more empty. So that's what I'm taking away from that. And I'm going to need help with that. I'm going to need help with that. So I think our next book is going to be about boundaries.
It's going to feed right. It is. The next, let's end it. This is the Getting Things Done by David Allen, right?
Getting Things Done.
Let's be done with that.
Yeah, we're done.
David Allen.
Thank you.
We appreciate your time. Thank you for writing this book. Whenever somebody puts themselves out there, I think it's amazing. And congratulations on selling 1 million of them. I can't believe you've sold that many. That's amazing. It gives me hope.
Yeah, and we did have a couple takeaways, so thank you.
Yeah, like I could possibly fart on paper and sell 1 million of them. And that's giving me hope. Okay, so next week we are doing Healthy Boundaries by Chase Hill. How to set strong boundaries, say no without guilt, and maintain good relationships with your parents, family, and friends.
That's amazing. I think that's going to help me. Yeah, it's going to be so good. All right.
This is going to be a doozer.
Yeah.
Like every time.
It's going to be it's a doozy, not doozer.
It is now. And that's how bad it's going to be. It's going to be a whole new word is going to be created.
It's going to be a whole new doozer.
It's a doozer. Because in Groundhog Day, that first step, it's a doozy, right?
Yeah, it's a doozy.
It's a doozy. Yeah, this one's going to be a doozer.
Yeah.
Because some of us doozers too much.
Yeah. I love you.
I love you too. This is so fun.
All right, guys. See you next Tuesday. Thanks for joining us.
See you next Tuesday.
This was the We Need Help podcast.
Yes, it was.
It was a doozer.
Doozer and a half. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. Rate and follow us if you like us. If you don't, please don't.
And come visit us at www.theweneedhelppodcast.com. There you can find show notes, links for books. You can join Audible, which is, how we actually read our books. We listen to them. And we have special exclusive content just for you. Also, feel free to subscribe to our Patreon account. That's where you can support us financially because we need it. And it can be anywhere from $1 to $100 billion a month, whatever you can afford. And the link to our Patreon account is www.patreon, and that's spelled patreon.com/We Need Help Podcast. And you can support us on there. We would really appreciate it because we do need help.
Awesome. And we will see you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday. Thanks,
Bye.
loves. Bye.